functions and formulas. So when you can take the mic.
Okay, thank you. So today we'll be looking at Excel functions, and we have quite a range of Excel functions that are there, and we have decided to group them differently. And today I'll be taking you through the text formulas, and the logical formulas. So let me share my screen so that we can start. I'll be working with the same data set that I was using, uh, but this time we'll use a workbook called I'll use a data set called financials. That's the data set that I'll be using. I'm popping out the link just right now. So that's the link of where the data set is. Okay, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. And we'll be looking at various functions. We will be starting with the text functions that are highlighted here. We have several of them. I'll just be selecting just a few to show you how these items look like. So I want to look for a data set that we will work with for this part. So for the text functions, I'll be using the Excel in that folder called the villagers. And what we'll be looking at is how we can use various functions like concatenating, changing texts, cases, that is either from uppercase to lowercase, and vice versa, or to normal case. We'll be looking to some of those functions. We'll also look at some of the functions like len. We'll also look for functions that extract specific characteristics from a text string. So we can say left text, we want to select several characters to differentiate a few things. Right text, mid text, there are various formulas that we will look at. We also look at the trim functions that are part of the text functions. So first and foremost, I'll start with one of the most great function, whereby is the concatenate function. This one merges two columns into one. Let's say we want to merge column A and B so that we can have our new column reading Admiral Bird. So we will say most of our functions always start with an equal sign so that we can be able to express it. So we will say equals, then we write our function, which is concatenate, which means joining two texts or multiple strings together. You can concatenate as many columns as you want. You just have to express it. So we'll just write our formula equals concatenate. Then we'll select our formula and say we want to combine text A. Then we enter a comma, and text B. Then we can close um, our string right there and say enter, and it will have merged the two words all together. But as you can see, there is no space in between these items, and you might mistake this for a single word, which that's not the case. So you can be able to express and add a space in between, and this is how you do it. You will enter quotation marks, then enter your space and close that string, then enter a comma, then press enter. As you can see, our text has changed from Admiral Bird all together joined to now Admiral space then Bird. This is how you're able to separate, you're able to join these texts all together, and you can see how you're able to do it. It's not only the space function that you can add, but you can also replace the space with, let's say, a hyphen. Once you put a hyphen, it will also add that right there for you. And once you have done that and you want to spread it to your to all below to your all your data, you can just do a flash fill, and it will go through and okay, so you can do a flash. You can just scroll down to where you want your data to reach, and it will have added. It will have joined your data that the way you want it. So that's how you merge. You might find sometimes when you're dealing with the data that contains phone numbers, you find the prefix is alone. Let's say we are dealing with country, the country prefix is alone. That's let's say 254, 255. Then right here you have 7, the number format that is used by the different countries. So you can decide you don't want them in that manner, and you want to merge this the 254 to the other one, to the rest of the number. So you'll just use the concatenate formula, and you're able to join the two. So that's one formula that is very crucial, especially when you're dealing with data that has a large data set and you require to merge a few things and join a few strings. You can all just to be clear, it doesn't mean you just have to merge two characters. You can merge as many as possible, so long as you just separate as shown. You can go up to text, whatever number that you want. You can merge all of them together and be able to see it all differently. You can see. So that's about concatenate. So I'll move to the next formula that will be showing us how we can get characters from the left or the right. So we just need to define, these are called the left, right, and mid functions. They're very crucial, especially when you, like for instance, you want like the scenario I've just given. If you have a phone number that is 254 700 12345. So this is a phone number, and you want, let's see, we can, let me just use this. So you just want to get the first three characters of this. So you just need to define where you want these characters to come from. You can say these characters, you want the first three characters. So let's say we want the first three characters on the left. So we'll just say equals left. Okay, you select our formula, Then we will say this is a text. Then we will tell it the number of characters that we want. As you can see, the 254 is 3 characters, so we can say we want 3 of them, and we just close the parenthesis and we say enter. So we'll have the 254 separated from this. You can run it all down. So, and now you can come and say you want the first, let's see how many characters do you have. We can say equals, right, and this we will be taking the characters from the right. So we'll say we want 9 characters. Let me see how many it will give. Okay, 8 characters. So with that, we will have separated our phone numbers from the way they should be, the 254. So you have your original column that has the original contact. You have the one that has the prefix, and you have the other one that has the phone number alone without which country code it represents. Sometimes you might use this when you want to see the number of phone numbers registered per country, so that you can use the country code to be able to see it. So that's how you get it. The same will also apply if you want the mid characters. You just say equals mid, and it will select where we want, and we want 3 characters, and there. Just a minute. Okay. Let me see. I don't know why the mid is not working. Let me see. It should work. I'll check on the mid why it's not working. I'll check on that, then as we continue we'll see. So aside from those functions, we have other functions that you can count the number of characters within a cell string. So probably you have been asked to confirm if the contacts have a correct number. Most of them usually have at least 12 if they're starting with 254, and if they are having starting with 07, they should have 10 characters. So let's see the length of our contact right here. So we'll say equals, and to get the length, you'll just say len, which is just a short form of saying length in full. So it's length. So you'll say len. Okay. Select your contacts, close it, and it will tell you that your numbers have 11 characters. As you can see, our contacts have 11 characters. So that's how you're able to see the number of characters. So it will count for you 2, 5, 4. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of you having to count like that, you can use this formula function to help you see the length of your text string. So we have another function that is commonly used by data analysts, or maybe when you're going through data and you want to remove extra spaces from texts. It's often used to clean data. So we can just say how you do it. You just say Equals, we want to trim, so we'll say equals trim. So we'll trim our text. Let me select this text, steep hill. So let's see how it goes. So in case this had more spaces all through, we will notice when we take this, let's see if it will give us. You can see if there are any extra spaces. There are no extra spaces in this one, but if you check this one, you can see it has extra spaces. So that's how you trim your text, and your text will be any extra spaces in between names and all will be done away with. So the next formula that we will be looking at is the find and search formulas. So these are part of the text formulas where you want to find something specific, probably. So you can be able to say equals find. Let's see, it will give us, yeah, find. So within this within this text, I want to find something like let's see what entails. Yeah, we can say that within that range you can find for me tatami. Let's see how it will give us. I don't think it will be clear. This is just a shortcut, a big other route other than this one to find. You can use this one to find. This one looks for a wider range. So the formula, the find and search functions are not really used. So I look into that why it was giving me that error. I look into that. So those are some of the functions that are found under text functions. There are others like array text, part texts, character, clean, code, concat, which is almost the same as concatenating. There's a dollar, the exact, find, fixed, left, len, lower, mid. These are some of them that we were able to see. Others include maybe you want your data to have only capital letters, so you can use functions like equals upper, which means you want to change your characters into uppercase. So you just say select your cell and say, so you see how it has changed the case. So I can turn it back to small letters by saying equals lower, and it will give us it in lowercase. You can see. So there are a lot of functions within the Excel that you can really use when you're cleaning your data, when you're trying to reference or look up something. So these are majorly the functions that we have. And the beauty about it, you don't have to cram all these shortcuts of typing the functions. You can just come, select your whatever you want. Let's say you want to say lower. You had seen we have done lower. You have seen proper is the one that does. Let's say we want to say equals, and we'll come to the text function and say proper, and we will give the text. Let me show you. So this we will give it this and tell it to give us in proper. And you see it has given us A as a capital and Admiral as the normal case. So there are a lot of options that you can see, that you can change. You have a lot of them, and they're very interactive, so you can be able to enter whatever that you want. So that's majorly everything about, not really everything, but a touch on text formulas. The one that we are going to really look at into depth will be the logical functions, because we have so many of them. This includes the if functions. We also have we have the and or functions. We have the if and functions, and we also have if error functions. So we have various functions that we are going to look at when we are working with the logical functions. And that's why I wanted in this data set, we will be using the financials. We will be able to look at various scenarios. We look at various scenarios whereby we will be looking at the costs, the prices, and see how we can use the if functions, especially when you're dealing with these types of data. So the logical functions the logical function that you're going to start with is the if function. The if function is checks a condition. It basically checks if a condition or a certain expectation has been met, and we are able to try that with this data set. So for instance, we can say we want to check under this data set the column of units sold. You can see it is showcased in the dollar, so the units sold are the cost is in dollars. So we want to check at the high and low. In this report, we want to mark orders as high of the units sold if the order amount is over $1,000, otherwise low. So we will look at it and say, right here we will say equals, and we'll write the if condition. So we'll say if, and we'll check in this cell A2, E2, and tell it E2 we'll say greater 1,000. Then we will give the conditions. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, just made the correction for me. So if you look at this data set, we have defined that if it is the E2 is above $1,000, then high. If not, then low. So let's see if this will go through our data set. You can see it has marked almost everything as high. Let me see, why did it mark this one as high? So okay, let me filter and see if there are any lows or just have high. So Yes, that was the error. So you can see we have defined our columns as high, and we have the lows. Those that are below 1,000 are low. You can see that one. We have this other one. So we can be able to just have a set of a data that contains low alone, and we also have another set of data that has the high. So you can be able to differentiate all this data differently, depending on how you see it. This is an if condition that we have used to check um, the the values that have under the unit sold. So this one can be used to do a lot of things in various scenarios. You can use it to check in a sales report. If you want to find the best performing products, you can use this category, the if condition. It's a logical formula that you can use to check on to filter data differently, so you can be able to analyze it better. So you can have a set of data that contains only high, and you have another set of data that contains low. This one you can also use it in a scenario whereby you're checking a data set for, let's say, students or maybe even employees if they are qualified. So you can just define it as you just take your data set, give your if conditions, then the conditions will work for you all through your data set. So you can have everything in order. So that's one function of the if function. So we have other functions that work together. So like if goes with a lot of other functions that are under the logical functions. We have the or function, we have the and function. We most of the time you find you can be able to use all these functions all together at the same time. So for instance, we can say we want to check for something like let me think of something that I can use here and say equals if. I want to use if and another logical function like the and. The and function checks if all conditions are basically true, and the or function checks if any condition is true. Notice the difference. The and function checks if all the conditions are true. So we can say equals, and we say and. So we say equals and we select our cell and say E2 is greater than 1000. And manufacturing cost, which is F2, is greater than 2. So we will say give comments of the value. Okay. So under this function that we have just done right here, we are asking the and function to tell us that this cost, the unit sold, is above, is greater than $1,000, and the manufacturing cost is greater than $2. So if that's the case, then that's a profit. If that's not the case, that is a loss. So if we run this through, you can be able to see we have the profit and loss. So you can be able to see it has checked that all conditions have been met. The AND function checks that all the conditions have been met. So in a scenario, let's say this column has been marked as a loss. So what if I said this was 1,000? Okay, this was 1,000. 1,005. Great. So it checked if 1,000 was the cost of the unit sold, and the manufacturing price was greater than $2, but still you can see it is marking it as a loss. So if I increase this to 1,005, you can see it has changed to a profit. So it will be able to go through your data and tell you where you need to, maybe you have losses and you have losses and you have profits. You can use the if and and functions to check for this. If you have a set of data that have to meet a certain expectation that is required, you can use the if conditions to ensure that you're able to do this. What about if you used the OR function and we work with the same with whatever we were just requesting, but say OR? Instead of saying if, we just say OR. So you can see the explanation that you're being given here is saying checks whether any of the arguments are true and returns true or false. The returns of false only means if all arguments are false. So you can see it has said it is a profit. Let's see our row right here. So it has said it is a profit. Why? It has said it is a profit, yet when you use AND, it doesn't show any sign of a profit. You can see the OR function just checked and noticed that 1,000 has been met. So let's say this one was not the 1,000, this was 888, and this was 1.5. Oh, 20G5. So let me take this one back. This one right there. So you can see this one has turned into a loss because it has not met any of the arguments that we were trying it to give it. So let's say this one is like that. You see, it has changed to a profit. Just because one condition was met, it will just take either. So that's why it's called the OR function. So you can be able to use the if function and the OR function, and you're able to use it when you're trying to go through your data and find something, a pattern all through. So that's the logical functions. The if function is the most commonly used, that gives various functions, various data, a certain type of condition that you're trying to look for. So the other one that we'll also look for, you can see we have the force, we have the biro, the bicol. These ones are commonly used when you're doing the lambda functions. you can see the explanation right here is applies a lambda function to each column and returns an array of the result. You remember when we were studying the lambda functions when we were doing Excel and with Explore AI. So these are some of the formulas that are used when you're doing when you're working with the lambda functions. We have the XOR, you have the true, the switch, scan, reduce, or not, map, make, array, let, lambda. All these are logical functions. So we will look at the if error function, and we see if we can be able to gather something from it. The if error function catches errors in formulas and replaces them with a specified value. So we can say, let me see how we do. So we can say equals if error. We'll give it just this one. We can say this one e2 minus this. Let's see the if error.
Owen.
Yes.
So you can try.
Mm-hmm.
You can try writing a formula which will bring a pop-up error.
Yes. That's what I wanted.
Like you can try to look for, maybe use like is equals to on the cell
Yes.
that you are.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, delete the error function. First of all.
Okay.
Write match.
Okay. Much.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to look value like for in on the month column,
Okay.
Yes, choose January. Choose yes, January,
Okay.
comma.
Mm-hmm.
Then look up array. Try highlighting on the manufacturing price. From the manufacturing price, highlight like
Yes.
four. Okay.
For cells like that. Yeah.
Then reference. Then lock the cells. F4 on your keyboard. F4.
F4.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minute.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Let okay,
Yes.
that is good.
Yes.
Now you can try
Yeah.
writing a Ella function below on another cell. Yes, is equals to.
Okay. If error.
Now, yes. Now
Mm-hmm.
the cell that has a null, that one.
Okay.
Then comma.
Mm-hmm.
You can write comma 0. Return error in quote error.
Yes.
Try,
So
try.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, so that's how you check for if error, the if error. So that's how you check for errors. So it will return to replace the errors with the name error as you have seen. So you can see the function right here. We have the NA where we have done it. So this other one returns if it is NA, then it's an error. So this helps you when probably you have done a formula in between and your data set is so big that you can't go through column by column. So you can use such a formula to check for you if there is NA, then there's an error. So it will be able to help you in in ensuring that your data is clean and doesn't have any anomalies. So those are some of the functions within the logical functions. We have just highlighted on if, and or. We have others, majorly most of them, and the best way to learn about these errors is working with them practically. So ensuring that everyone understands how formulas work and how many formulas you can be able to find. Some of these formulas are not basically all of them here. That's why you have to add other items like add-ins. I had mentioned earlier that we have add-ins like qtools, and they are very important. And as you can see, recently Excel introduced Python, so you can be able to use Python to add formulas to your worksheet. You can code them somewhere else and bring that logic right here, and it will be able to work on your Excel sheet. I think this one is not on all Excel sheets, so just in case you don't find yours having the insert Python script, and you can just I think you can upgrade or look for a Microsoft 365 one that can allow you to do this. So you can see this one can create a lot of things through the through just using your Excel. You don't have to use by your Visual Studio. You can use just your Excel, and yeah, you'll just have it. So that's majorly all. I don't want to take a lot of the time, and we want to cover a lot of this. So I want to hand it over to Onesimus to take us through the rest of the functions. Thank you, guys.
Hello, evening, people. So,
Evening, good evening.
so today I'll be taking you through lookup function, some of the lookup function. I'll concentrate on four of them. A minute as I share, allow me to share my screen. And close some data that I was, minute. Okay. Hope you can all see my screen. Is my screen?
Yes.
So normally the lookup functions in Excel are used to search for values. That's why you can see my strand title. I started with search. So I was trying to think of the reason as to why the developers of Excel in Microsoft they thought of developing VLOOKUP on horizontal lookup function, the formula that always helps people search for things, or the formula that automates processes of search. So today, these are the four formulas which I will concentrate on. First of all is match. Generally, match help us find a position of a value in a row or column. Match function returns the index of a value in any given data set. We'll see that as we continue. For the fee lookup is generally for but the fee letter stands for vertical search, vertical. Then look up. Then the function, what I thought they were trying to say is that we vertically look up for a value. So we generally, on VLOOKUP function, you can only search for value vertically. The next function is HLOOKUP. Using the same analogy of the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP generally is horizontal. Horizontally look up a value. So what we are doing is we search for value horizontally, horizontal search. The XLOOKUP, which I believe most of us are from ALX. So you can try thinking of X in ALX for multiple. So generally X lookup, X consists of the V and H. So X means that you can search using X lookup, you can search for your value either vertically or horizontally. So the X lookup nowadays is replacing H and V. It was generated like it is 5 years ago for the X lookup. So generally most of the people are using X, and most of the time I find myself using X lookup because I don't want to write a formula in front of the director of my boss, then it returns error because I'm trying to search for a value vertically, but I'm using HLOOKUP, which I need to search horizontally. So I normally use X because even if I'm horizontally searching for a value or vertically searching for a value, it will never return an error unless the value is not, maybe is missing, what we are trying to look for is not there. So I might find such kind of error, but I will never find an error when using an X lookup. Whenever I have I'm trying to search for a value horizontally, which I should be doing, which is located vertically. So let's jump onto it. Before I continue, any question about the match VLOOKUP and X or H? Do you all understand the definition? Have I put it clear? Please, someone?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So let us jump on first one, which is match. First of all, wait, I think in my strands I learned the syntax. Allow me to check where my syntax left to. Thought I learned syntax with me. Minute, please. Thought I deleted the syntax. But we continue with the, I try to explain it using my own ones. So a function in Excel, it is normally the same as in Python. A function has a name, it has parameters, and when you go to dive into machine learning and AI, most of the case, it has hyperparameter to fine-tune the maybe model. But in our case, our function in Excel normally has a function name and parameters. Like for match, we have three parameters, which is lookup value, lookup array, and match type. Anyone who can try to think of to explain what lookup value is required to what are we required to put on our lookup value? Anyone? Class. Anyone? Anyone?
Can you repeat the question?
Explain what the parameter lookup value means, on what are we required to input on this parameter lookup value. Anyone? Am I clear? So I will take it. Let me take it. Lookup value is generally what we are searching for. What are we searching for? Like in the table that I have here, it consists of student names, scores, generally student name and scores. So in a lookup value, I might be looking for someone who is called lecture. So that is our lookup value. Lecture, the name in column A, cell row number 2, the student name will fall under lookup value. Then lookup array, it is what do we want to get after we get lecture? Yes, we find that lecture is present in our tables. What would be our return? What do you want to return back? So the next, the lookup array will be generally be the score, because if we know the name of the person, then in our mind, what generally we don't have or we don't know is the score. So lookup array is what period do we want to return, or what period do we want our function to do, or which index do we want to know that the name the name exists. For the match type, it, how do we want to perform our match? Do you want exact name for lecture, or do you want if lecture was missing an H, can we consider that as lecture too? So most of the cases for people who are working in finance or in sectors which means some level of accuracy, you find yourself, or you always choose an exact match, which is always one. So let me open my Excel so that I can try to demonstrate that in it as it rolls. Let me see it. Let me see a minute. No. Yeah, let me look for a data set which is not so sensitive for you people to see. Oh, these are banks. These are a statement of the people. So I take, let me take chat of God, no. Let me take data. Not going to open for any bank statement of a person. Might get myself into problems. A minute as it opens. Okay, we are there, we are there, we are there, we are there, we are there. Okay. Let me copy these two rows. Okay. Copy that. I think that would be enough for us. So we work with some section of the data. Okay, so paste. So this will be match function. Generally match, so different is. So generally we insert a table first. I love working with tables. So I can also try to delete duplicate on this so that we can work. Not duplicate. Oh, because we have an index column which is unique. So what we try to do in a match function, we try to find maybe these index numbers. Index number is them here. So index. So we will try to find at which index are all these index numbers located. So many of us or many people will try to copy, then paste there on the filter button. Then you find now it is located on row 13. But now, imagine we had 100 or 100 plus or 200 plus values which you are trying to find their index number. That's where match function come in. So generally, allow me to delete this and take this on this side. So we always start when writing an Excel function. We always start with equals to, then match. Write match. Generally, always take your time to read what the function does. Match function, it says that returns the relative position of an item in an array that matches a specified value in a specific order. So Excel has made the documentation generally to help us always go through with the right formula. So generally, when you write a match formula, when you write any function, below them, you always see the description, the formula. Then always use the tab button to enter the formula. So what does the formula say? Match function, then lookup value. So tell me what you want. So I'll choose the lookup value. Then comma, lookup array. So I choose my array to be the column that entails index, accident index, which is column A. So I select column A. Then comma, match. How do I want it? Less than, which might not bring the exact value. 0 for exact match. Generally, I always go with this, and most of the people go with the exact match. Greater than or equal to. These are not numbers. So we go with the exact match. So you tap, then press the tab button on your keyboard, then close the bracket, then enter. What does that say? It tells that the index 200, 900, and this, it is on index 12. So how does it start to count? Take copy and highlight, find, paste. So this is what it does. To start from, this is our number one. The enders are number one. It counts from 1, 2. Let me find again. Minute 2. So it is to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I believe the column 13, the row 13 is number 12. So what do you do the next? If for this, to get the index of all these values, raise, then double tap, then you get the index. Most of the time, I combine match function with another function which is called is number. What this function does, checks, no, is number. What this function does, it checks, does this cell contain a data type number? If it contains a number, it will return true. But if it does not contain a number, it will return false. So in a case that I wanted to know whether these accident index are in our table, I'll just under is number function here. Then insert. So what does that mean? It tells me that this index value is true, that it is in this data set. So if I drag all this formula to tell me that it is true. Let me try changing this to an L. You see whether we have that kind of yes. Can you all see it returns a false? In our case, it has a false value, which now states that tells that this code that you are trying to search, it is not in our data set. Back up, or any question, or are we together?
Hebu enda kwa formula.
Kwa formula. This one, can you see it?
You matching. Are you matching if it is a number, ama?
No. The match function help us find index. The index where a column is. You see, like this one is on column on row 7. So whenever we write a match function to search for this accident index, it will return a value which is 7, or generally, because it will start counting from here, it will return a 6, 0 to 6. To tell us that this index, it is at row 6. Have I answered your question? Which is the form?
I'm confused. Is number ni ya nini?
No, its number, it is checking, it checks if match function returns a data type which is a number. Like,
what is the function of returning it as a number?
Because index will always be a number. Index in a given data set, zitakuwa numbers from 1 to 3. There will be numbers.
But is it the index that are there, they are not numbers. See, they are general. Did you text?
Let me delete this number function.
Eh. See what see unafanya you want to match to see if a certain the in the accident index is in these numbers are there.
Yes, I want to see if these numbers are there. At what point are they located? You see? Yes, I know that this number is there, but where exactly is it located? So it will tell me that it is located on row number 12. You get it? But
So when you okay, when you start the match functions, G3 ni G3 is where you
the lookup value, the value that I want to see where it is located, the lookup value.
Oh, so you've taken these numbers, you've put them in another column, and
Yes,
then now you are using the match function to find out if it is there in the table.
Yes, to find out where are they located in the table. Because you might have a data set, maybe for customer names. You know that these customers are in our data set, but you literally don't know at which row are they located. So you generally use the match function to know which rows are they located. For your case, where you're trying to think of looking whether they are there, that when you use is a number. Because if a name of a customer is there in our data set, and we use a match function, the match function will return where the customer is located. See there? But now we want to know whether it is true or false. These are customers are there. That's where the is number function comes in. Is number. Generally, if I add like numbers 1, 2, and 3, and I like is number function is number, and choose this number 1, then close. It will tell me true that J, the number 1 is a number. So think of a case where I lap our match function with is number.
But it's not a number.
It is a number. 2 is a number.
No, E20 in the accident index Niondo is the one that we're checking that it is a number.
Accident index.
No. Amani, where are you? Where I am not understanding where you are matching and you're saying is number and the number, the text it's a text, it's not a number.
No, on column A. We are trying to find where these index are located on column A. What do they return? If I use a match function to look at this, we return that this function, it is located on index on row number 12 for our data set, for our table. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 13, because we start from 0. Okay, a mistake there. So we start from 0, 1, 2 to 13.
So is numbers it return the row number. That is what you're saying.
Yes, it return the row number for the table. It will not consider this. It will consider the table because it will start counting from here. 0, from 1, 2, 3. Yes, from 2. So it will go to 13. You get it?
Yes.
So it will return that this index number is located on row 12, which is 13 in our case. because of the one of the two, you know. Are we together? Hello?
Yes.
Hearing me?
Nimeshika. I've understood. Thank you.
So,
Yes. You can't hear me, yes.
Yes, so if I add is number function, it will check with does a match function return a number or the index 12 1. If it does not, it will tell us that it is false, that the cell function that you are trying to look is a number. So in our case, like here we are 12. Is it true? On this we earn 12. So when we insert the is number function, it will tell us that it is true that 12 is a number. So what does that tell us? That this index, it is true. It is in our data set. So I'm trying to imagine a case where you are given a customer name from another Excel sheet. Then you have been prompted to find if this customer name exists in another data set. So you combine match and this number, they tell you that either it is true or false. Customer names, or in our case accident index, are there in our data set. Are we okay, Wairimo? Any other question?
Yes, for the clarification. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, proceed, Siki.
Suppose you're looking for, say you have a big data set that you're not familiar with and you're looking for the name, say Rachel. Do you have to come and type in like Rachel in another cell so that you reference the cell? Ama you can just, hapo kwa lookup value, you can just write the name Rachel. Like, do you necessarily have to reference a cell?
No. In our case, you're trying to ask whether you can type this.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, but just always use the quotation. So that tell that this is a text. But for numbers, you can use, for text, you use quotes. Or are they parentheses or the quotes? For numbers, you can insert a number generally without writing a quote.
Okay,
so most of the cases, like when we get to developing dashboard, we might use this function, the function, to help us. Like imagine I put up here index. I prompt someone, insert the index. Then I like my match function here. I start with this number because now we got it. It's number, then match function. Lookup value will be this cell. Is it true?
Yes.
Then I lock it so that it doesn't move. Then lookup array will be that the column. Then how do I want it? I want an exact match, which is 0. Then
yeah.
Do you say the same false? Because we have empty, we don't have something here.
Yeah.
So in our case, we can take this, insert there. It gives us, we can take another one, insert. It tells us for the false, we take this one. The automation part. Is that, are we, Nini?
Yeah, but what I was asking is, if we can actually copy that number into the formula.
Okay.
Like, because I'm trying to imagine, suppose you're working with clients and somebody's like, I want to see if my name is there. So do I have to type the name in another cell so that I reference it like that? Or I can just use the formula, then badala ya kuweka, say K3, I put now Rachel, and then I continue with the rest of the formula.
You can.
Okay.
You can,
Thank
you
you.
can, you can. Like, let me type L. Like, the way I'm doing, I not match.
Yeah.
Then I open the quote. Then I write rook. This is the name of the customer that you want. I'm
Yes.
Siki. You want Siki.
Yes. Yes.
Where do you want to look at Siki
Mm.
from? You want to look Siki here.
Okay. Yeah.
How? You want exact name of Siki.
Yeah.
Why does it turn null? Do you have an idea?
I think because you said it. Able go back to the formula. No. I think because that Nini has numbers and we've entered a name. I don't know.
No, because
Onesimus,
uh-huh.
let me come in on that. Maybe it can make sense. Huh?
Yeah.
You see, in a situation whereby maybe you're working with clients, it's my belief that most of the time you are working with a very big data set. So it's important and very like it's usually very much important for you to categorize your data into, let's say, the fact table and now the dimensions. Like, let's say maybe you're working with a clientele of maybe 100. So it means that you will have to reference to a specific, you'll have to use data validation tools and have a fact table whereby you have specific clientele or specific people. Let's say, like, who was asking a question about that?
Me.
Siki.
CK.
Okay, let's say Siki, you want to check if your name is there.
Yeah.
Can you go back to your Nini, Onesimus? So like here, you'll find that this is maybe a dimension whereby maybe the data is populated maybe after every minute, after every hour. Now on the next sheet, you just open another sheet and create a client fact dimension. That is a dimension whereby you'll be having your client 1, 2, 3 specifically. Let's say if you are adding a new client, that client will remain in your data set, in your fact table. Okay, so meaning when you come to your dimension table or to your lookup table, what you will do, just go back to it. You will have to reference that specific cell. Let's say you are referencing cell. It's called, which cell were you working with?
Working with for
There's that, yeah, where were you like referencing the lookup? It's on this
the
L009.
column under index. Add
K
the
is
index.
K3. Look at K3.
Mm-hmm.
So in K3, what you will do, you will have to create a data validation. You can just go to data while you are there. No, while you are on K3, K3, yeah. You just go to data and then you go to data validation. On data validation, you validate, you look up on a specific list. You go to any value to list. Create a list there. No. Just go to settings.
Mm-hmm.
There's that any value. Just click that down. There's a list somewhere. And then
Mm-hmm.
now on the list, now you like that. And then now you go to the second, now to the fact. No, you go to the fact table, not to the dimension, where there's now that specific lands. And then now, like, there, now you can even select the entire sheet. The entire, is it row? No, row, specific B. And so that when you are adding the clients, they are just adding up on your, and then now you can write your client names. Just, okay, click OK. Now there you have that down arrow key. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
There's that down arrow key. Now you can add maybe the names there, just add like examples. Or even you can use these indexes on the accident index. You can copy the two first so that you can use those as examples.
I copy 2.
You can even copy up to number 6 or 7, because we are assuming this is like that. We are assuming this will be now our fact table, whereby the data is just like copy that and then paste it on the referenced where we've referenced. Just go there. Where did we
And
reference?
that is.
Yeah, you paste it there, and then now you go to there, and then now there was that part where there was that down arrow. What happened to it? Yeah, there. Just click on it. You see they are there. So if maybe like now you can do a match, and then now you reference that specific. So you'll be just selecting from that. If someone wants to check if their name is there, if their name does not appear in this list, it means they are not in the list. No, you don't write anything there. It will not allow you. You now create that index or the lookup value.
Yes,
Let's say
I was trying to demonstrate that if we write something which is not in the list, to return an error. Yes.
Yeah.
So you generally you have to write something that is in the list.
So if you want to update your list, you go to the dimension. Is it dimension or fact? I think I'm getting confused on those. You go to your dimension, to the dim table, and now add the list that you want to be added. And then now you come to the fact, or to where you are doing your lookup, and select the specific. I think that is what you are trying to look at, maybe when you are trying to work on the lookup. Because now where the confusion will come when you are trying to work on the specific formula in front of your client, you will now get confused. Like there'll be that confusion, and then maybe you find that you mess up the entire it's called what? The entire formula. Or sometimes you can get a data set that is already protected. Most of these data set, you find that maybe that specific cell is protected because it's a formula that it's constant. So you'll not be able to to do anything, but just do a checkup, or you just look on the list that is there.
Siki, are we together? Are we? Is your question undone in the?
Yes, it is. I'm now trying to process through the whole information of the dimension and everything, but I have gotten the main points. Thank you.
Yes, and I believe you got a lot than what you asked.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else to continue to the next function? Anyone else as we continue to the VLOOKUP? Anyone who has a question? So let us proceed, because even for time. So generally a VLOOKUP function has 5 parameters. Lookup value. It applies the same way that on our match function. The lookup value is the same. What are we trying to look for? That is the lookup value. Table array. Now for VLOOKUP function, it works on tables, like on this table for employees and their addresses. Which table are you working on? You choose this column index. Where do you want to return value from? We choose an index. Like in my case, I might choose 1. I want to search value on employee ID, which will be our first row. Or someone else might think of searching using names, so you choose 2. All might search using index. Oh no, using address, which is number 4. Let's look up. most of the case, you always select where, not even most of the case, always, all the time, you select where you want the value, where do you want to return that value from, or where are you searching from. So on that, we go back to Excel. There, in our case, so define this. I'll use this table. So sorry, I got is for this now. I use VLOOKUP. Let me delete this. So next we got employee ID. We are trying to create a data set for our own employee ID. Then we got name. Department. Then address. Yes. Address double D. Sorry for the spelling. Thank you. So this one. Someone give me an ID which you'll use. I take like mine. I choose. Let's choose 1B. Name I say Odesmus. Department. Maybe finance. Address. Let me know. Let's say I'm from New York. York. Siki will be number 2. Your name is Siki.
Yes, CK.
CK, Yama Siki.
CK, department I want research.
Research.
Yes.
Which research?
Anything.
Address.
Address. We can just put Asia anywhere. That works.
I don't name anything from Asia. Now you choose United States for you.
It's okay. Thank
Kenya
you.
utaki waye. Hata Kenya, you don't want to in Kenya.
Not for you now. For you will be ID3. Name. Name.
Who, me?
Yes.
Wairimo.
Hata Kenya wataki.
Hata Kenya hatutaki.
Department.
Research and development. Ama uweke information technology.
Information technology.
Yes.
You didn't want to go same department.
We usharuka Kenya.
You just got a new president at
Imagine.
So you are from Kenya? You are
No.
You're from?
Mozambique. I
am from Bermuda. Ebu, I am from Bermuda.
Spelling.
I am from Bermuda.
Spelling one.
BERMUDA. RMUDA. Bermuda. BERMUDA.
MU.
Yes.
You're running away from Kenya and you're going to UDA, Bermuda.
We are running away.
Next person, ID number 4. Oh, we have. Wait. Wait a minute. Uh-huh. Hey, people, you have one names for ID. Name me. Don't. CRAIG. Okay, department statistics. You are from Kenya. First person to accept. The next, number 5, ID number 5. I think this will be the last person. That will be enough data set.
Add me.
You want to be here?
Yes.
ON.
Me.
Oh, you I know
ON.
it is easy. Department
IT.
information technology. You accept to be Kenyan?
Mulima.
Murima?
Yes.
Kenya. Thank you. So we can take a do. For this, for me to get a lot, that at duplicate, so we have enough. So this is our, we call it, we check the the unit table. So we set as a bro. That will be easy. Bro. Good. So our VLOOKUP function. The VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP. So you always start with question, with equals to. Then VLOOKUP. Then you need looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. So lookup value. Here I go with ID. Then table array. This is my table. Then return 1, 2, 3, 4. I want hundreds, which is number 4. Simple. Are we together? Class. All fellow student, because I'm also a student. Are we together?
I would just click on the formula again. Okay. Yes, very much together.
So we started with the value, which is ID1, the value. Then we started copying the table that we are trying to look the value from. And the most funny thing about VLOOKUP, it always look up for a value from the left side. That's the funny thing about VLOOKUP. I don't know what these people are thinking. Then number 4, it is an index of the column. Where do you want to return it? So from, this is 1, column 1, this is column 2, this is column 3, this is column 4. So whenever we find ID, we will return the value corresponding to the left on column 4, which it is New York. Which is New York. So for purposes, if we under now value, then look. Look. So, if we look up the lookup value. For my case, I'll choose the whole. No. For my case, I'll choose this cell because I want to automate the process. Then comma. Then I choose the whole table. All that employee. Then comma. The index, I always want to return address, or now we return department, which is number 3. So, okay. For a case, it will pop up a null because we have nothing here. We have nothing in our cell that we're trying to name. So this is address. So if I want to look for Siki, the department for Siki, Siki, what department did you say you are?
Research. In research.
Let's see. If we put Siki, will we get research? No. Why do you have Siki doing statistics? Oh, we have a duplicate of Siki. Do you get that? Do you see that Siki? Sorry for that. No. But no, auto returning 3 Siki. We have duplicate. So G5 K employee 3. Most cases you might see Siki as a duplicate in our data set. But for that duplicate, I see we have research. Don't know why we have statistics. No, we have no Siki here doing statistics. What did we include? Let us choose 1. See what changes. It says that it is 4D, which is true. Then why statistics? No. Siki is 1D. Is the column cup. Okay, page lookup, select true. Okay, might be an issue. Until we say correct. And we have Siki doing research. G5. Okay. Body. Describe. Statistics. And Siki. Who might have the solution for a problem? Kenya, which is wrong. Statistics, which is wrong. So if I choose Owen, what will it do? This is statistics. And Owen is information. So minute, this is true. G5, it is true. Then how much should be car? Okay.
What if on that true you use is it 0 or 1? Exact match, Antonine.
It should be true. It should be true or nil. So
there or in statistic.
ON statistic, but ON it is information technology.
Now, I think, is it because you are using
The
lookup
approximate.
kanakwanga complicated?
Kidogo. We look up the value. I want this value. Value. I want this. Then all. Yes. So what do I want to return? I want column 3. No, column 3. Then I want exact. Okay.
We share that data set, we see.
A minute.
Hebu enda kwa hiyo formula. Unatumia VLOOKUP ama unatumia index and match?
Yes. VLOOKUP. I want VLOOKUP.
Wafai kuweka absolute reference kwa hiyo G5. Okay. I'm sorry, my Nigerian brothers. Kiswahili is very easy.
So don't know what is happening. Lookup value to body. You're inserting them correct. So let me try using VLOOKUP. So I take this comma, this table, comma, then I'll draw number 4, vertical lookup, which not works. Is it true? No works.
No, ON is in Kenya. Huh?
No, 1D, we choose.
Oh, 1D. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
But now my case for this step, the problem that I have here is, why is it? Imagine we add these values here. So
Onesimus, can you do this? You are looking up using what? You're looking up using name.
ID.
Or you're using ID?
Yes.
No, the first time you have been using the names, didn't you? The thing that you are using in a Sailiko on is it column or row 1?
Oh, correct.
That
That was the issue. The left side. Oh, I got you. That's why I left using VLOOKUP. I now use X because
because that thing can really give you like the entire day while you are trying, even if in employee ID or anything. Yes. You need to switch it off and then
the
thing that you are using to look up for then assign on the first as the first column.
That's right.
Even if you are using department to look up, you will have to switch the department to be on the first column. Yeah.
I now remember. Yeah. That's why I use the X lookup. Always, everywhere, anywhere. You find me using the X or the horizontal and these other. And not for me.
So you see, you have to do a lot of cleaning.
Now talking something that we can understand. If you just said, hey, oh, yes.
So what was trying to remind us? For VLOOKUP, the column the value that you are searching for must always be the first column on our table. So if it is this ID, that's why we are getting a wrong value because we copied the IDs and we took them in somewhere else. But we should concentrate. We should always use the first column. as our lookup value. Even if we wanted to look for names, we will take this name to the first column. Are we together? For the function to work correctly, if we want to look for
That is for VLOOKUP.
yes,
Ama
that's for
XLOOKUP.
VLOOKUP, it has those restrictions. But for X,
It doesn't.
anywhere, in another workbook, it works.
So it means VLOOKUP is more traditional, and then XLOOKUP ndio ile is that
XLOOKUP is a very recent thing. It doesn't even work. You know, it doesn't even work at it only works, I think, from 2021.
Yes.
Excel 2021. Any Excel before that, it won't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was developed, like I said, 5 years ago. It is like 5 years ago. Yes. So that is like 2019. There. So for me, because of that disappointment, I'll give you a homework. Someone go do, all of us, let's go do HLOOKUP. So generally it's lookup, you will search, for our case, for VLOOKUP, we were doing vertical, we were searching vertically. Vertical. For HLOOKUP, you search value horizontally, like this. The first column is horizontal. So when I think our formula, HLOOKUP, B1, this one, for earth. Then what it will return also, you must write it on a horizontal value. Most of these cases happen on maybe financial statements, because a lot of accountants also can attest that many of their data for financial, they are when reporting or doing financial analysis, you find yourself writing months in horizontal way. You write maybe the company that your organization has subsidiaries. So you might have like KCB as other banks like Kingdom, like 10 of them. So you find yourself writing them horizontally. Vertical lookup back then was made for that purpose, for you to search horizontally. So that is a homework for you people. Tomorrow might be a question, and I pray to be the headman. I would have given someone a prize, but now, because of the purpose of running, let us all put it in our hand that we should go and learn this. So XLOOKUP, I will explain because of time, because I want to give Waswa time. XLOOKUP, this function is a multi-purpose function. You can search vertically, you can search horizontally, and if there is any other dimension you have to search, XLOOKUP can do this. There's a key in searching, and most of the time I advise you always use XLOOKUP, because it helps you automate things without this much struggle that I will need to take my row to be the first row in my table. So you can search from any dimension. Like in our case, we can search using salary, we can search using first name, we can also search using last name. So it is all through XLOOKUP as all parameters the same way as VLOOKUP. The only thing that XLOOKUP gives us, so in the case that we add here, that we under XLOOKUP returning, no, we under VLOOKUP, when we try searching this value, we choose the table, then we choose 4. And choose, it returns a error, which is this error, which says value not available. NA. But now for X lookup, instead of you returning N stroke A, value not available, it gives you an option of, please, if I don't find this thing that you are looking for, what can I return? In my case, I always say that return is not found. So it makes our Excel sheet most of the time look good or beautiful. Much more we earn that on. Much more we earn that on VLOOKUP. Much more, the much more help us tell XLOOKUP the formula. You need to search the value. We need the exact value, or we need, if there are numbers in finance, we need values which are less than. If this value is less than this, please return that it is available. Return this. If this value is greater than this, it is greater than the value you are searching for, please return. So that's the purpose of the match code. The search mode. Search mode helps us also define how we search. Like in a case that the first name Emily, I try to imagine that you never knew that what is in between M and L, which is I. For search mode, gives you an option of using wildcards like question mark, asterisk. You might use, maybe you might try to use this or we can do it on Excel. You see, X lookup value, choose this. Lookup array, I choose this. Return array, I want to return these two. If not found, I return is not found or not found. You see that now that option that we have, that we didn't have on the VLOOKUP, and it is not also available on HLOOKUP. Match mode, I want exact. Or for your case, you can choose exact match or next small item. Or you can also use the wildcard, what I was talking about, the wildcard. I want exact. And you can, this other formula, the search mode, always is not mandatory for you to insert the search mode. You can leave the function to do its work. You see, very easy. We have the name, and department. Very, 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 very easy. And PC. And this kind of formula, I don't know whether I think they might make you earn more, especially if you are freelancer. You might end up using minimum time to solve problem, hence working on a lot of projects. Then you get paid more. And if also you are an employee like me, your work might be easier. Your boss thinks that you are still struggling, but at some point ulimaliza kazi kitambo, only that you don't want to submit it for people to see like it is so easy. So these formulas are good. Let me try to scroll down and reach a point where we don't have. How do you see this case? Not found. It's because this cell, because this formula is referencing this cell. This cell here is empty, and you don't have an empty value here. So it will return what we wrote, not found. I think we are done. I'm done on my part. If anyone has a question, please feel free to ask as I usher in Mr. Waswa to lap up on his part and make us better expert in Excel. Waswa, welcome. But if anyone has a question, please feel free to raise it with me. Also,
Onesimus, you're done. Oh, has dropped. So good evening. I hope you've already at least learned something. So, Onesimus, you're done.
yes, I'm done. Sorry, I lost my internet.
It's okay.
That's why you find myself. I find myself out. Sorry, you can take on.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for the uh, insightful session today, you and Owen. So, I believe that we are learning something. For those of us who are still starting up on data analytics, or and you don't have a background in data, I will just tell you for the fact that Excel is where you need to start from. I'll tell you from my experience. I started from up and then found myself going back to try from the bottom. And as you've been told by Onesimus, it's true. It really like saves you a lot of time, mostly when it comes to performing reports. Some fields, sometimes we find that maybe, you see, there are no, maybe they have been overtaken by maybe these things like AI or anything. But in the back end, most of the people in the back office are really like doing a lot of things. And I can imagine someone getting into into work, and they even don't know like what is going on or what they need to do. So I will not do my presentation today, but I'll just touch on exactly what I will do. I'll have to do it tomorrow because of time. It's already 8:44, and I believe maybe there are some of us who want to proceed. We are halfway on our program, our training session. So whatever you've been taught today, please go and look at it again. Do research, more research. Excel is really expanding, and I think I'm seeing things even myself that have not even like contemplated on. So on my side, I'll be doing the statistical functions, and this one it's comprised of the normal ones, the sum ifs, unique. We have count, blank, and so on. There is average ifs, sum ifs. So I know all of us know how to perform sum, and the data set that we'll be using is the one that has been shared with us. You can go try it. There's something I've been working on currently on the back end, and I think it's a very interesting thing when it comes to statistical data. When it comes to statistical data, so try to make sure that maybe, let me just show you what we'll be using. We'll be using this one, financials. So as I said, my background is in finance, and I think using is the most exciting thing to use because I can see almost everything that we can try to build. So we'll use the same data set to build, to work on statistical data set, and then also try to work on building dashboards using the same data set, so that at least we can know how to, from cleaning, working on maybe analysis, trying to break this data set into maybe the facts and the dimensions, and then also trying to make some sense out of the data. So we'll be building our analysis from scratch using this one, and then up to a point of creating a dashboard that can be presented maybe into to the stakeholders, because this data set, we need to do like some work on it. So that is what we'll be working on tomorrow. So you can just go through it, just look at it. Sorry, so it's already open here. And then something you need to understand is that this data set is in CSV. Yes, yes.
Let me ask. Where is this data set? You've already put it in the group.
It's here on this drive. When you open the drive,
Okay.
let's just open it with you. You can you look at the financials CSV.
The link. Me, I don't have the link. Oh, yeah.
It's pinned on the.
The one for Owen.
Yes, that one. So we can be at par with everyone. Kindly note that we'll be using that data set. It's available and it's visible to everyone. So on this one, we'll be using financial. Where is it? This one, financial CSV. So you can just, because we are working on Excel, just download it to your local PC, and it's going to be very much interesting session, I believe so. So we will start from data cleaning, we'll start from cleaning. We work on formulas. From formulas, we go to analysis using the Power Pivot and Power Queries, and then now we build our dashboards. And I think from there we'll have now at least captured most of the things that Excel needs. From there now we elevate ourselves to Power BI. So, and exactly as we are working on these formulas, kindly note one thing. You can see the similarities between the Excel formulas and the DAX formulas when it comes to Power BI. I'm sorry, I'm used to Power Queries and Power Pivot a lot, so sometimes I get confused on the same. So you can see the similarities, and when we are working also on the DAX function on Power Queries, you'll find that it's almost the same thing. So start from understanding the Excel formulas and functions. When you go to Power Query and when you go to Power BI or Power Query and Power Pivot, when you're working on DAX, it becomes very easy for you. So I believe I will not wish to spend a lot of time. So I believe we are all guided. So tomorrow we'll start at 7 and end at, what time are we supposed to end, Eve? Is it 8 or 8:30? I believe, yeah, 8:30. So, and you have to note that statistical function, and then I'm forgetting another one. There's date function, very important when it comes to working on most of your data, because when you are working with a fact table, it's very hard for you if you don't understand how to manipulate your date functions. It will give you a lot of nightmares. Like this one here, I can see there's already, you have been given the month and the month number and the month name. Most of the time when you're uploading your data from database, you will not see this. You'll just see the dates here. And nobody is going to give you the fact table of the dates. So you have to create one for yourself. So we'll be working on how to create a fact table that is going to be dynamic also to help us understand how to work on our data set when it comes to doing our analysis. So I believe we are now guided, and I hope that we join early so that we also finish early and release people. Tomorrow is Friday, so understand that people maybe need to finish and then go and work on other things. Okay, sawa. So I think everything is clear. I don't understand your question, Wairemu.
Which particular CSV are we downloading?
We are download for tomorrow's session. We'll be using
You see in
financial.
that drive of yours, I'm seeing like
Ebu?
I'm seeing on the drive.
They are the same. They are same. They are same.
Financial.
Werimo. They are the same.
Eh.
They are the same. I see what I shared the new one, which is all the same. They are duplicate of each other.
This one is opening what?
Oh.
You've seen it. I'm trying.
I've seen it. Financial. So I download the financial one.
Yeah. Or if you're not sure of which one, just there's this one. Hii itakupeleka directly to the link to that specific data set. So kindly note that is the specific data set that we'll be working on, and tomorrow we are going to work on specifically on statistical data set. So from there, we now move to the advanced things. Now on the advanced, it's going to be like fast because we'll have covered anything that is hard down here. So not unless there's any question. Is there anyone with a question or a comment before we close the meeting today? Comments?
As usual for me, it's always a good time. I really like these sessions because I am learning a lot. So thank you to the people who are training us.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, so I think that one will be it today. And thank you, team, for the session. Let's meet tomorrow for another one. So back to you, Eve, if there's any other announcement. Okay, since Eve is not here, so let's call it a day and let's meet again tomorrow. So have a good night.
Good night.